What's up, guys? My name is Jerry, and today we're going to be talking about how the New Orleans Pelicans will have the best starting five in the NBA next season, and we're going to jump right into the video. Now, the first thing we need to do is establish the projected starting five of the New Orleans Pelicans. And me personally, I think it's going to be CJ McCollum at the 1, Brandon Ingram at the 2, Herb Jones at the 3, Zion Williamson at the 4, and Jonas Valanciunas at the 5. Now, when I look at this projected starting five of the New Orleans Pelicans, there are two things that jump out to me. One is their incredible size and length. After CJ McCollum, everyone in this starting lineup is going to be 6'6" or taller. You look at Brandon Ingram, he's 6'9" with a 7'3" wingspan. Herb Jones is 6'7" with a 7-foot wingspan. Zion Williamson stands at 6'6" with a 6'10" wingspan. And then the big man, Jonas Valanciunas, stands at 7 feet tall with a 7'6" wingspan. So that is a lot of length, and that is going to serve them well on the defensive side of the ball. Secondly, I see a ton of versatility in this starting five. I see 5 players who can be effective with the basketball in their hands and effective without the basketball in their hands. And when you have players who can achieve that, it allows you to be so creative on the offensive side of the ball. And I want to start with Jonas Valanciunas. And we look at how he's effective without the basketball in his hands. He's really good in the pick and roll as a screener. He has a big body, a large frame, so he sets some of the best screens in the NBA. He's really good rolling to the rim, catching it for an easy dunk or layup, and he's also skilled enough to pop out and knock down a wide open 3-point or mid-range jump shot. And we look at what Jonas Valanciunas can do with the basketball in his hands. He is a great post player, and this is the best part of his game because he can do everything out of the post. He can size you up and knock down the face-up jump shot. He can shoot the post fade. He also can play with his back to the basket. He has incredible footwork and strength. He has all the post moves from the drop step to the up and under to the post spin. He has a really soft touch that allows him to knock down his hook shots. And then he also knows how to use his size and strength to finish with brute force. And then he's also a animal on the offensive glass. So Jonas Valanciunas is a pretty versatile offensive player. And now I want to look at Herb Jones. Now, Herb Jones will most likely be the weakest link on the offensive side of the ball for the Pelicans next season. He's going into his second year in the NBA, and he still has a developing offensive game. And I don't think the Pelicans are going to ask much of him on the offensive side of the ball. But with that being said, I still think he's going to be able to give the Pelicans exactly what they need from him on offense. With the players that they have, he's going to get a lot of wide open jump shots. And watching him last season, I think he's going to have the ability to knock down his wide open threes. And he's also a very good cutter and finisher around the rim. He can finish with both hands. He can get up and dunk the ball, and he can also catch lobs, and all of that translates to transition basketball as well. And Herb Jones last season also flashed the potential to be able to put the ball on the floor and create his own shot. He was able to put the ball on the floor and get to the rim numerous times. He was also able to take the ball off the bounce and create opportunities for his teammates. So even though Herb Jones, his offensive game still is developing, he's still going to be an effective offensive player for the Pelicans next season. And now I want to look at CJ McCollum. When it comes to CJ McCollum, I still don't know how this man has not made an all-star game yet, because when you watch him play, it's like, damn, what can he do on the offensive side of the ball? And I think he's going to excel at 2 things for the New Orleans Pelicans next season: scoring in isolation and operating the pick and roll. And he has the perfect skill set for both things. He has a great handle on the ball. He has the ability to score from all 3 levels, and I think he's a very underrated finisher. He can finish at the rim with both hands. He's very agile and acrobatic, and he can even finish through contact. So we know really nobody in the NBA can guard CJ McCollum one-on-one. He can dance on just about anybody. versatility. And when it comes to the pick and roll, cannot wait to see him and Zion. I think they're going to be a nasty 1-2 punch, because in a two-man game, both of those guys, they attract a lot of attention. So I think the two of them running the pick and roll together, they're both going to get a lot of easy buckets. And also, he can be very effective without the basketball in his hands. We got to remember, he played alongside Brandon Ingram last season, was very effective, and then most of his career he played with Damian Lillard, and he was still effective. And he can run off screens, off pin downs, off flares, and he's one of the best spot up shooters in the NBA. So we looked at CJ McCollum, and now we can get to Brandon Ingram. Now, I wouldn't be shocked if Brandon Ingram was the #1 option for the New Orleans Pelicans next season. I think it's going to come down to him and Zion Williamson, but I think BI is poised for a breakout season. At just age 24, I think he has one of the most underrated skill sets in the league, because we look at his size and his wingspan, and we take all of that into account. Him being 6'9" with a 7'3" wingspan and having guard skills, that's a very scary thing. And after the playoff run he just went on, I think it's going to take his confidence to the next level. But looking at his skill set, can score from every area on the court. And what makes him so scary is when he starts to heat up and he's getting to that mid-range area and there's nothing you can do about it. You put a hand in his face, you send the double team. It's just too much length and too much of a shooting touch to do anything about it. And he's really gotten better at finishing at the rim. He had so many posters last season, finishing through contact, and he's also gotten a lot better as a playmaker. And Brandon Ingram, he's also good enough to be effective without the basketball in his hands. He's a great cutter, great finisher around the rim, and he can knock down wide open spot up 3-pointers. And last but not least, we have Zion Williamson. Now, Zion Williamson, he's the guy that's going to take the New Orleans Pelicans to the next level. We saw how successful they were in the second half of the season, adding CJ McCollum to the squad. They made the late playoff push, and now we're going to add Zion Williamson to this mix. Now, he might not have the skill set of some of the other guys we named, like CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram, but he's probably going to have the biggest impact on the game out of this starting five, because Zion Williamson is so strong and so athletic that there's nothing you can do with him one-on-one. It's going to take 2 or 3 people to stop Zion Williamson once he gets inside the paint. And when you're able to do that, or when you cause a defense to do that, it's going to open up so many things for the rest of your teammates. Guys are going to be getting wide open shots, wide open layups, wide open everything when you have a guy like Zion Williamson out on the court. But we look at his skill set and what he can do with the basketball in his hands. I think he's very underrated because he has those explosive hops, and everybody thinks he's just a dunker, but he could do so much more than that. And the best part of his game is the ability to put the basketball on the floor, and it pairs well with his quick first step, because now you can take that big out to the perimeter and he's just going to blow right past him. And once he do that for X amount of plays and the opposing team decides to change it up and put somebody smaller and quicker on him, he's going to be able to take that player right down to the block, and that's an easy post bucket for Zion Williamson. So he's going to be able to do so many things with the basketball in his hands, taking guys off the dribble and getting to the rim. And also, I cannot wait to watch him without the basketball on this team, because he's going to be so good in the pick and roll as a screener, especially with guys like Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum, who are great playmakers but also scoring threats. So it's going to be some pick your poison situations, and Zion is so athletic, and watching him on the roll, it's going to be very exciting to watch. So this is why I think the Pelicans, while they're going to have the best starting five in the NBA, I think they're going to cause so many mismatch problems. They're going to cause for the opposing teams to think of so many different adjustments, because there's just too much to account for. You have 3 elite scorers in CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, and Zion Williamson. You also have a guy that's a really good scorer in Jonas Valanciunas. He averaged 17 points per game last season. And then you have the glue guy holding everything together in Herb Jones. So on top of their versatility and their skill set, They also have size and length, which is going to help them out on both offense and defense. So the Pelicans are going to be very scary next season. That's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like. Comment down below who you think is going to have the best starting five in the NBA next season. And then subscribe for more weekly content. We do this all the time, man. And that's curtains.